Greetings, everyone. I'm Mrs. Guidry, and I'm the media coordinator and digital literacy specialist at Hawthorne Academy. And I'm here today because I have the wonderful opportunity to interview someone that is in the IT field, and she's a good friend of mine. Providing media, education, and event information for community, equity, entrepreneurship, and literacy. Andrea Grady.
Hello. Greetings. Hello.
Greetings. I have a few questions
Okay.
from my help desk students. Okay.
All right.
This first question is from Alicia.
Hi, my name is Alicia, and I want to know how high of an education you have to have in your level of work.
Yes, I see Alicia's question. And her question is, how high of an education do you have in your level of work? And I can say this, Alicia, with the current trend right now of how technology is, you can definitely get certified in a lot of things to where you can get certified with or without the 4 year or 2 year degree. Um, in IT, the degree just bumps up your resume. That's pretty much what it does. And because of how technology has changed from, say, 10 years ago till now, you would think that back then you have to get your undergrad, then your master's, and everything like that in IT. Although that does help and bump your resume up, it's not necessarily something you can necessarily need to have. So a lot of times your certifications gets you a little bit more ahead of the game as far as recruiting. So, if I had to explain it to you, the cake is you. You put in the work and shine through the baking. That's pretty much what it is. If I had to do it over, I would go to college, get that college experience, of course, and pad my college experience with a job and that job leading to more jobs. So I would take the opportunity to basically work starting like sophomore year and keep adding till senior year. And so therefore, I'll have that experience offhand right on my resume. If I was in high school, I would be looking forward to some type of program or track in high school that allows you to again get that job experience or go ahead and go into college and go into the track of the college experience. So, I do like the early college. If I was in that opportunity was in there when I was in high school, I probably would have went there. Yeah. Because then that puts you two steps ahead.
So one of the things I try to do for my students is I have tech assistants that
Yeah.
help repair Chromebooks, and that for the students who are really interested in the industry, this would can be added to their resume.
Excellent. Excellent. And if things like, for example, if she wanted to go even deeper with her question, like if you wanted to say, I'm in health, I have a health track at Hawthorne. Okay, for instance, IT in, let's say, a healthcare environment, they're always looking for things like data informatics or health informatics. That's still health because you're trying to improve the customer experience or the patient experience and back it with IT data. So that is a form of IT. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's not just necessarily programming all the time. Again, new stuff,
Okay.
new things. So these students have the opportunity now to go out and be like, okay, how many branches, how many arms of IT can I get into? So keep your mind open. Yeah. It's not
Okay.
just
The next student is Javon. Javon wants to know, do you have student loans?
yeah. Javon's question was, do you have student loans? Yes.
Don't we all?
And masters too. So yeah, again, going back to do stuff ahead, like in high school, so you can prepare yourself. Like for instance, the early college, anything that can be credited towards college, if you're
Mhm,
going to college, let's say that would help because then if you do have to obtain student loans, you're less
yeah.
debt. Get your grants. Scholarships is excellent.
Mhm,
Apply for anything and everything. But
mhm,
yeah, I do.
mhm.
So that would be one of the things I wouldn't want if I was to do it over again. I'm like, nah, I should have did more better. I should have did more scholarships, more grants. I could have put some more experience in there and try to get those paid for my schooling. Now, sometimes it happens like that to where that's the only option they have
Mhm.
is student loans, and that's understandable.
At Strayer University is if you're already taking out student loans, I would suggest to them that they take out a little extra
Yeah,
and pay for the certifications.
there you go. Two for one. You already got it. Exactly. Exactly. That's how you do that.
Okay.
Good tip.
So our next student who has a question is Aaliyah.
Aaliyah asks, what are the benefits of your occupation?
Aaliyah, what are the benefits of your occupation? Let's see. To be honest with you, this world of IT is demanding and growing IT professionals all the time. You are definitely an employable asset. Remain an asset, whatever track that you're on. And to be honest with you, IT gives me flexibility. As you can see, I'm at home.
Mm,
So I've worked this hard to be at home, and I still can conduct professional business meetings. With the highest. I treat everyone the same, whether it's the CEO all the way down to the janitor when it came to the different type of positions that I were in because IT goes both ways. It doesn't. There's never not a business that does not thrive off IT. You will get your job done with IT. IT is always needed.
it's
So yeah, so that's the benefit of being in this occupation. And again, just figuring out what track you want to be on. So therefore, you know exactly what to focus on. For me, I'm pretty much in product management, not necessarily project management, but product ownership and product management is basically aligned with project management because you're going to take advantage of any projects that's going to come your way. You're going to implement it from the beginning to the end. You're going to be the one that's going to say that project is your baby. You're going to make sure it's going to start from the beginning and you're going to take ownership of that product and you're going to make sure that that application or product is going to be thoroughly completed, and then you will see the end result being shown wherever division is going to use that. So you're going to be the product owner of that particular project that you're working on. So it's a wave of IT strategies that you can um, figure out where you want to be. That's what I call it. Yes, it's like a wave. And so jump on that particular wave, find that strategy that works for you. Because again, everybody's not a programmer. I'm not a programmer. Did not like it.
mm,
Unenrolled in that when I was in college, did not like it. So I figured there was other ways. So my track in college was aside of having a business degree in undergrad, I went ahead and did computer information systems. So that's different from programming.
mhm,
So that can be, again, a different way, many branches, many arms, and it's more focused on IT strategies.
mhm,
And I had a small minor in web development. And I figured out that I like web development, but that to me changed as soon as I got graduated. So it's kind of like,
mhm.
now you can just go get certifications for it if you
Yeah.
want to be a web developer. But they got so many tools now that you don't even have to be a web developer.
Mhm.
So I changed it. So
Yeah.
again, trying to figure out that track and that path will allow you to become the one that's flexible and employable asset and have the job catching skills that you need to put on your resume.
Mhm. Yeah, because I'm in IT, but I like
Mhm.
graphics. as we're moving more, we have been moving towards a digital society, and
Right.
COVID has completely made us a digital society.
Pretty much.
So there are jobs that have not yet been created yet that will be
Right.
created.
Yeah, welcoming these new graduates and this new generation here that is definitely going to take it by storm. There's many people that has had no IT experience before, but they definitely developed an app. So believe that, they may have not the programming experience. They can pay someone to do that, but you
Mhm.
had the design experience. You thought about it. You wrote it down, and so that's still part of technical writing, to be honest with you. So that's a part of IT if you think about it. So it definitely just depends on the type of technology that you're passing through, the information that you're passing through technology. And so that's why I said whenever it comes to someone who wants to stay in the health field, definitely look up clinical informatics and data informatics. You're gonna have a job.
So our next student is Anahi.
Anahi would like to know, what do you enjoy about your job?
Oh, Anahi. Okay, what do you enjoy about your job is their question. To build the ability to see task aligns with whatever I'm working on from the beginning to the end, like I mentioned before. And once it's implemented successfully, that is like a kudos to me. Thrive to get kudos, even to yourself. Give them to yourself. Because everybody is not going to be like, oh, you did a good job and blah blah blah. You got supervisors and managers that will do that, and they should do that too. Um, build trust and build a relationship with their team. But if they don't, make sure you give your own self kudos because you did a job well done. You know that. And what happens? You get called for more and more projects, and things need to be done. Always accept a challenge because I think that's the next question with Cherie.
Okay, so
I
Sharice
know.
next.
Cherie was curious about, what is it like being a Black woman in a field that is male dominant?
Yep. What is it like being a Black woman in a male dominated field? Challenging at times, but I held my ground pretty much. There's no one that could come in there and make me feel intimidated. I don't care what you know. So, yep, it's definitely a male dominated field, but we definitely want to see more females in this field. I feel like this, you can be a male and I can definitely learn from you as long as you're willing and open to allow me to
Mhm.
learn from you. But the ego, I'm not learning anything from you. So I'm gonna go to the next person because at the end of the day, you're supposed to live and learn from those people within your same spectrum, and so you want to continue to take that knowledge and then continue on to the next and give that same knowledge to the next and the next and the next. And so, yeah, it needs to be more Black women definitely in this field. Women as a whole need to be definitely in this field, but definitely Black women, minority women. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I just want to take this moment to say that I am sincerely and forever grateful that you have been my lifeline because I have been thrust in work situations when I was the tech support.
Right.
And I'm like,
I,
but
I
I'm grateful that I can call someone that can talk me through it. They was like, well, go to this YouTube video. And you always gave me a quick troubleshoot. Always try these things
right.
first, and then let's see if it's do you need to put in a ticket.
Hi, I'm Janaya, and I want to know what made you want to work in informational technology.
Find your niche. Find that niche.
Hmm.
And then you could do it really good. Whatever skills that you got, add on to it, fluff it, pad it, take those challenging opportunities, take any professional development that you can to increase your actual employable assets. Be your own, so increase your own social capital. That's what you do. Because a lot of times IT people they think we're stuffy, and a lot of them are. A lot of them are. You don't talk to them. They don't talk to people. That type of thing. That's not me. So that's how I know that my track was okay. I like to complete projects. I like to do things. I like to talk to people. I like to do a lot of things with it, but I'm not a programmer. So you're not going to see me constantly in the computer and not talking and not being social. You got to be able to be that well-rounded, employable asset in your company. So, it's good for you to get out there and network, which is going right into, is it Naya J?
Hello, my name is Najee, and my question is, what event in your life let you know you grew from the first time you started working to now?
Huh?
Yeah. What the event in my life would be in knowing the importance of networking.
Mm.
Know that very well, learn that very well, learn to do that, and see how that
Mhm.
really has an impact on your life and especially your career. If you don't learn anything else, learn about networking and get into those groups in your social setting, and especially in your work, that allows you to get to know people and know names so they can in turn get to know you and know names. You take on those challenging opportunities that may be the one to say, okay, you know what, don't know, but I'm gonna try to learn. And then they will
Yeah.
continue to learn that. And so then you start figuring out exactly what that person did to get to that point. Network.
Mhm.
That's one of the things I chose. I learned networking too late. So y'all got the opportunity to do it now earlier.
Yeah, and that was the biggest turning point for me
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
because even when we worked at the public library,
Hmm.
I really worked well with the IT department,
Right.
and I was open to learning. So they imparted a lot of information. How
Right.
I returned that to my department is that we always work with people who are not tech savvy,
Right.
who are intimidated by technology.
Right.
And I tend to be the one who will sit down and break it down much slower
Hmm.
versus how I would normally do a workshop or a training where I'm just spitting it out really fast, just trying to get it done. And have if you're a tech native, that's good. But if
Right.
you are a little older or you don't use technology a lot, I've always been the one who will work with them.
That's it. That's
Okay.
it. And I think,
And our
yeah.
final question comes from Taylor. Taylor wants to know, how do you get away from technology in your daily life since you spend so much time around it at work?
Taylor, how do I get away from technology? Learn what work, life, balance, and flexibility is. Learn those four things and work on each one.
Say it again.
Work, life, balance, and flexibility. That flexibility part comes into play because a lot of these companies these days are offering you the flexibility that is like one of their standing points of all their job advertisements. And that is important because you will get burned out in IT, probably other professional roles as well, but you will. So work life balance is important, and that's how I do it. So that's it. If it's time for PTO, it's time for PTO. If it's time to work, I'm working. And then life comes into making sure there's a balance between your life, work life, and then being part of the work culture. So that's the flexibility that your employer should be offering you. Because if not, you're probably going to leave. And I'm not opposed to. I'm not the one that. I'm being in IT. Honestly,
Mhm.
they probably have an expectation of you not to last 3 years at that particular role before you start saying, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
Why? Because you need to challenge yourself and continue to develop your professional development track. So 3 to 5 years, you must really like the job. But
Yeah.
average, we're looking for the next thing. So don't let anyone, say, well, why are you job hopping? After 3 years, that's probably average for an IT person before they start looking for the next role. Yeah.
Well, and gone are the days where you stay in one position for 30 years and then you get a watch and a good pension. Like, I don't think this younger generation is coming into the
No,
workforce. I don't believe most of
no.
them will not receive a pension.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
get that work life. When I'm at work, I'm at work. When I'm off, I'm gonna enjoy my life.
That's
And
right.
we're learning from them that
Learning
lesson.
from them. Exactly. So you all keep that in mind and definitely do your best.
Mhm.
Like I said, the illustration that I gave Ms. Guidry, you definitely can look at, because that's something that I attached to my resume. It's kind of like my short view of my path, and I add that to my brag book. And the brag book is something that I've developed on a OneNote that continues to allow me to look at. And I do a brag book for each year, because a lot of times you'd be like, I work and work and work so much for a company, and I'm like, well, exactly, if you need to write down exactly what you did. You took a class, write it down. You led a team meeting, write it down. And all that is your build up, your fluff, your padding, to be like, yeah, I'm ready for the next role.
Well, I just want to thank you so much for this
Yeah.
opportunity
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
that you have given us, and we look forward to maybe interviewing you again to ask you some more in-depth questions. I think I will connect with you personally about the students creating a brag book of their. I have a lot of seniors in this help desk
Oh,
class,
okay,
so I
great.
think this will be a great opportunity for them to create brag books.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it goes on from there. They can get real creative. In my brag book, if you look in the top left corner, links to my LinkedIn page. So get your LinkedIn page. After a while, you got to go ahead and add to it, because that's how employers are looking at you. You can get a lot of jobs off LinkedIn. So that's one way it'll work out.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
the time you have spent with us.
you.
And this is the end of the interview. And thank you so much. And students, I hope you have gotten a lot out of this. I hope you got your questions answered. And this is some great food for thought, even if you're not interested in the IT field, just some good, helpful, professional growth tips about networking, about making sure you toot your own horn. That means that you may not get affirmed by other people, but you know how to affirm yourself, and also prepare yourself for the next opportunity.
Yes.
All
Excellent.
right.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much.